Hi, today I'd like to talk about a more modern cartoonist. We've talked about Cruikshank before, and sort of coming on from him was a guy called Ronald Carl Giles, better known in England as just Giles, for his cartoons. He was born in 1916 in Islington, London, and he died in 1995. He became He started his cartooning in the left-wing paper Ronald News in 1937, but then he moved to the Daily Express, which is a much more right-wing paper. Though he didn't agree with their politics, he did agree with the salary. They paid him quite well. So he did his most of his cartoons and became quite famous as a cartoonist for the Daily Express between 1943 and 1989. This one is let's have a look. It's the 10th series. 1956 this one was started, so quite an early version of his cartoons. And he started his annual collections in 1946, so yes, this would be the 10th, so it'd be the 10 years since he'd been doing it. And they published them up to 2006. Now the later ones were, because he stopped publishing his own cartoons in 1989, they were mainly previous cartoons that had never been published, because he didn't put his own ones in, so up to about 2006. So let's have a look at the type of cartoons he made. Now, this is a very famous family that, if you know Giles, you'll know this family, the dad and the dog and this lady down here with the babies just being up to no good, and the old granny who's always very aggressive and naughty and hitting things, and the baby's always being up to no good. So let's have a look at this 1956, just a few. Now, it was cartoons of the typical of that period. So here it is to do with about the Russians. It seems that there was a entente between the Soviet Union at that time and the British. And there's some cartoons. So it was of the cartoons of the period. So that was about. And then this one, you can see, these are teddy boys in those days, and they were called. Before I was reformed, if anyone had told me I'd be on the game for Christmas, I'd have kicked his ear off. So this was the time of teddy boys, the beginning of the youth culture really in the 50s. It never really existed before then, but now we've got this youth culture. Another one. Let's see if we can get one or two of the. And this one is another one with this grumpy teacher. He was in quite a lot of these, very strict. I remember in my day that a teacher could throw a board rubber which had a wooden side to it at you if he thought you were talking or gazing out the window or anything like that. And also they could come around with the ruler and slap your fingers with it. And also the cane was still used in my day. All things that have now gladly stopped, but they did make you concentrate. There's the kids of the day mucking about. And it gives you a comment, social comment of the day. I wonder what that boy's drawing. Look, he's getting quite a lot of attention there. And they're supposed to be drawing these things there. And the expression, the cartoon's a very good way of giving social critique in a funny way, so it doesn't upset you. It's not in your face. It gives you that social critique in a funny way and makes you think if it is right or not. Here's Father Christmas. And I believe that, I'm not sure if it's true or not, or whether it's just the way you think, but it seemed to be that you got colder Christmases in the past, but maybe not. But that's the way you often think of these things. Perhaps more around here. Let's have a look. Trying to find one with the family. Here's the family. You can see, again, you've got the same characters, the thin lady with the baby, the mother that's looks like she's worn out. We've got the olden days, we had these Christmas decorations where there were bits of paper which you looped through each other and made these rings. They were the thing, and a few balloons that have died, and there's a bit of mistletoe. And then you've got the old granny in the corner there, looking very miserable. She's not a person you'd go and talk to unless you had to. But these were the characters. In those days. And again, you've got the same sort of thing. We've got the family here with the boat, the granny looking rather tough, kids on there. Complete. And then this one is of the school children. There's a kid there drawing something on the wall that seems to have amused a few kids. I wonder what that was. But their expressions. And there's the teacher just seeing it from the window. He doesn't look all that pleased, as some of those kids do. So I think somebody's going to be in for some trouble there. And there's some kids there playing the drums. You can see the expressions on their faces and the exhausted dad. And a lot of these things nowadays, you might lose the joke because you don't know of the political situation of the time. And so a lot of these, you think, I don't understand the joke, until you get an idea of what is going on at that period. Here's another little one. This is quite a good one. Little baby driving the tractor. So it's about children helping. That's very dangerous because I think most accidents in England are a lot of them are on the farm, because you have these huge mechanical items that could do some serious damage. You can see the track, he's gone right across the fields. find a couple more. And again, there seems to be quite a lot about Russia. We seem to be getting on very well with Russia at that time. It's not Russians sticking bombs under the ships, only me and Albert coming home a bit late. So there was lots of things about home, international things that are happening. It's got a safety campaign here. Number 2, you've got all sorts of things happening. Kids going in the oven. We've got water with a plug. All these things that are really, and they're going to electrocute. I remember at school, somebody came in with this thing where you hold the wires and they wound up this thing and you got a slight electric shock going through you. That's another thing that I used to do. That not very good idea, but he's got a lot. He's just put his teddy through the mangle. There's a baby in the ice. Another one's coming out. Kid's gonna go and get boiled up, I think. Let's have a look at another page. That's number 3. I think their faces and their expressions are great. They're beheading a lot of the toys. He's gonna cut his hair with that. So it gives you an idea of the humour of the day. This is the sort of things that I grew up with. My dad always used to get us a Giles cartoon book. It gives you an idea of what they were thinking about at that time. So I hope that was of interest, and you'll understand who Giles was. And if you like it, please give us a thumbs up so I know if it's worth bringing in some others. I've got some more up-to-date ones in the 70s and I think in the 80s. So if you're interested in this sort of thing, please give us a thumbs up and let us know. And I'll bring some more to you. Nowadays you can get these very cheaply in second-hand bookshops, places like that. So they are quite still available if you're into your cartoons and characters. Right. Thank you very much. Bye.